Hello, my name is Kelly L. Westmoreland with Herzing University, and I wanted to talk a little bit about diversity and inclusion. And it's very important that companies have this type of discussion because as they work abroad, you want to make sure that you are working with every aspect of your team. And that goes from your marketing to your advertisement to your finance. And those teams need to be diverse. They need to learn to work together. And sometimes different behaviors, backgrounds, different beliefs may cause a strain in that team. So you want to make sure that everyone understands the importance of why diversity matters. So the first thing I wanted to do was to talk about what diversity and inclusion means. And according to Webster's Dictionary of 2019, diversity is basically the condition of being exposed to different things. And from that same resource, what I'm going to move this over here just so that you can all see me a little bit better. Inclusion from that same resource is the opportunity or the act of being included, and that's extremely important for companies. You have to be included in these types of discussions. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, oh, I'm so sorry, I must have moved my camera a little bit too much, but when you look at who has major impact in a company today, you're looking at women, you're looking at minorities, and you're looking from those from the LGBTQ community. So those are lesbians, your transgenders, your bisexual, and your bisexual organizations, and those are the ones who are at the table, your women, your minority, those from LGTB. And that's important because you want to be able to respect that individual. Remember, your team should be diverse because those are the same individuals that are in your community. So you want to make sure that you are diverse on every level, and that even goes all the way up to the board level, that people are listening to what you want. How can I speak to those who are of a different culture if I know nothing about that? I think it would be behooving to have individuals from that culture or background to be a part of the conversation, so I know exactly what they are looking for. So when you look at what is a diverse team, and I'm going to show this picture from behind, you will know that a diverse team is pretty much, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but it is those who are of different cultures, different backgrounds, different beliefs. That's extremely important. When I look at those who are not diverse, it's those who are just all one particular party, and that has to change. You cannot speak for me, I cannot speak for you, but if we come together, we can have an understanding of what it means to speak to the community, and that's extremely important in my book. And when you are marketing to those individuals in that community, it's the same people that are buying your products and services. So I'll take an example of who had made a very major impact. In today's society, you have people like Beyonce and her husband Jay-Z. Those are very impactful individuals. Whatever they say, pretty much America follows. Same thing with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and there are others that people follow. So uh, when Beyonce was asked to support Reebok and be the face of Reebok, she denied them that because she basically said that, hey, why is it that everybody at the table does not look like me? You want me to support you, but this team needs to be diverse. The board needs to be diverse. And so she denied them. And I think more entertainers, more people in the public eye need to have that type of gumption to say no. I cannot support you because the the board members, the executive level is not diverse, only on a lower level, and it needs to grow, it needs to come up, it needs to change. And it all starts with conversations about implicit biases and why it is important. And I think this is where I really like what Beyonce is doing, and I also want to say I want to thank Nike for this, because Nike has a very diverse team. McDonald's has a very diverse team, and what McDonald's has done is basically take that knowledge back to the community with scholarships and different programs, and allow minorities to own their own businesses. And that is part of entrepreneurship. This is part of the discussion. This is part of conversation that needs to happen. And when you do that, people tend to respect your brand a little bit more, because you are, very cautious, very respectful of that community. And that's important. And knowing that women are the driving force, minorities and millennials, who are the next generation of executives and business owners, if they feel that they cannot impact an area, then what they would do, or impact a city, then what they would do is they would literally start their own business. And that's another thing, another part of that pie, which is entrepreneurship. Millennials are literally closing the gap by saying, okay, I do not see a company that is very diverse, so I'm going to leave and start my own. And then I will make it diverse to the point where people will start to see that that's important, and the inclusiveness and the open door policy, the camaraderie, all of that becomes very, very important. So my millennials are closing the gap on that conversation of implicit biases. And again, I really want to thank Beyonce Knowles for doing this, and I would expect her to do it again and continue that conversation. Hopefully you can still see me, but I would want to continue that knowledge, that branding of making sure that everyone is included. The next thing I want to say is, when you look at those making decisions and there's no minorities that are a part of that discussion, it makes it very hard for me to support you. It makes it very hard for anybody to support you. So we need to change that opportunity. And so how do we do that? You need proper training and leadership, and sometimes that might be global leadership, to look for that individual. You need a good talent search. You need a company that is involved in social causes and community services, and you have to be able to reach out not only on an external basis, but internally for what you want to have changed. I had a conversation with the company I work for, and they are not involved with the community. Therefore, the community does not know what they do, which means there's not a lot of minorities work for that company. So I'm asking that we go out and we are involved in the parades. We are involved with social causes, helping rebuilding the neighborhood. That is how you start with diversity and inclusion. And even though this is just a small portion of the conversation, I think this is the beginning of why it needs to happen. We see a lot of commercials with the minorities involved, but yet we are not at the table. So what you're finding is that we are removing ourselves from the commercials. We are removing ourselves from helping to brand that product or that service, and we're doing it on our own. Same thing with the women and with the millennials. And if they don't start that conversation today, it's only going to hurt that business tomorrow. My name is Kelly L. Westmoreland for Diversity and Inclusion for Herzing University. I thank you and have a great evening.